Motorcycle restorations are a wonderful thing. Bringing a discarded motorcycle back to the road is a heroic act. However, videos that are clearly fake and made just for views, and worst of all, there are millions of them, are really frustrating. It's time to expose the scam. Stay until the end as there are interesting twists. The story in almost every video like this is the same. A guy goes and looks in the bushes where he finds a motorcycle that looks like it has been sitting there for 20 years. Someone would have surely taken it during that time. He decides to take it home even though it has no documents. Luckily, the wheels are not stuck, as usually happens when a motorcycle sits for a long time. What he doesn't have luck with is motorcycle's condition. Just look, even the plastic and rubber parts are rusty. The original footage lasts almost an hour, and I could talk throughout the entire video, but I'll try to shorten it as much as possible. However, I can't shorten the amount of cables they've put in this motorcycle to make it look worse. Look at this wiring mess. And then more cables. To my joy, the engine was approached professionally. Everything was neatly disassembled, cleaned and reassembled, with a hole in the engine and paint everywhere. Some things are simply unacceptable and impossible. It's also unacceptable to use a grinder on the forks and brake discs. Absolutely no. Worst of all is that someone might think this is okay. YouTube should sanction such videos because it involves safety. But let's get back to things that don't affect safety. The motorcycle frame. They first approached it surgically. Then they decided not to mess around and turned on the grinder. Then they realized that people like to watch paint removal, so they inserted a few shots of them applying paint removal to the frame, which ultimately didn't remove the paint. Then finally, to add drama, they decided to weld the frame. For welding a frame, you have to be an expert, but an expert in welding, not a YouTube expert. Paint job on whole motorcycle is sloppy. It reminds me of this picture. Preparation for painting is a story in itself. Watch them use the grinder on the fairings as if they hadn't even turned it on. First, they show footage where they spend a lot of time and effort on preparation, and then they throw it all away and paint a part that seems like not prepared at all. Don't think I'm belittling anyone or that everything has to be done in a professional environment. I support every effort, but still, some rules must be known. Like the rule that this chain should be thrown in the garbage. They try to make everything look even worse. Just when we think, thank God. At least the tires are in good condition. There's a nail there too. Luckily, they have this expert who finds damage by touch. There's a lot more material to comment on, but I'll skip to near the end. The assembly went smoothly. Anyone who has assembled a motorcycle knows how much of a pain in the arse it is, but these guys were rewarded by God for their effort, so this part went without problems. In the end, the motorcycle looks good and is back on the street in that condition. The only thing they didn't bring back is that carbon that was there a few minutes earlier, but maybe they didn't like it. But let's explore a little further. All that I have mentioned is not evidence of fraud, more like a poorly done job. Some things could simply be attributed to editing and tricks for a better video, but look at this. Another channel, a video released a year after this one. The same story. A guy goes and finds a discarded motorcycle in bad condition. Under a pile of rust, there is pink paint. It's the same model as in the previous story. It even has the same tires as the motorcycle in the previous video. You won't believe it, but it even has the same crack on the engine as the previous motorcycle, and someone painted it without protection, painting the interior parts of engine as well. Isn't that the same motorcycle by chance? I kept searching, and there are a lot of these channels with restorations and the same things keep repeating. The title usually doesn't match the content. What motorcycle you think this is? Wrong answers only, please. I'm most afraid for people who take this seriously. There are many comments that encourage and congratulate them on a great job. All in all, it's nice to watch restorations, but watch those where professionals work. Here, There are so many wrong procedures and poorly done things. Someone might think that's how it should be. I'm sorry that real restoration efforts get overshadowed due to such videos. Follow my channel. New videos are coming.